Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you didn't know already, my name's Ashby. And today we're going to be discussing Miss Amberlynn Reid. Now, if you don't know who Amberlynn Reid is, she's a YouTuber that has, at this point, I want to say over 140,000 subscribers. And you might be wondering, why am I even talking about her? Well, there's a lot of controversy about her and her weight. A lot of it has to do with when she originally started YouTube, she was a weight loss channel. And over the years, she had kind of evolved into more than just weight loss, but discusses it and her food habits on a very regular basis. Because of this, and because when she started, she was around, I want to say 300 to 400 pounds, and now she is close to the 600-pound range, has caused a lot of issues. I try not to judge somebody based on solely on their past, and I've been trying to do the same with her. For the long time, I was on the anti-ALR train, and I really honestly think a lot of that was just because I don't like myself. Well, I think part of the reason why I have such strong feelings and emotions towards her herself is because she has an eating disorder similar to myself. She has a binge eating disorder as well as food addiction, which are two things I severely struggle with all the time. I'm also on antipsychotic medications. She's on a different kind than me. I want to say that she's on something for like bipolar disorder or something. Not 100% sure. Anyways, it's kind of part of the reason why I feel it's necessary is, in a sense, I have like this strong urge to defend people that I don't think other people are seeing their perspective. I've always kind of grown up to try to look at other people's perspective to understand where they're coming from and why they're doing the things that they're doing. And a lot of time, and she admitted this herself, is that she lies a lot on her channel, especially when it comes to her weight loss and how she eats. And I personally think a lot of that has to do with fear, the fear of backlash, if she's honest. I obviously haven't been around throughout, like, what is it, like 5 to 6 years that she's been on YouTube, something like that. Throughout the years, I can imagine when there's been times where she's been completely and utterly honest, people have probably flipped out on her. When you get invested into somebody in their weight loss journey, you get agitated when they don't succeed. It's part of the reason why I haven't been posting about mine, is because I am personally going in the bad part of my cycling and my eating disorder, which we'll get to in just a minute. Some of these things that she's lied about, I think it's because it's been unintentional lies, especially when it involves other people in her life. There was this whole drama about a cancer scam, and I don't think ALR really meant to lie to people, but I think she's just embarrassed about the whole situation, so she hasn't talked about it. She has had a lot of really mean and messed up comments throughout the year. I'm going to just put in a few of them for examples throughout the screen. Sometimes people even tell her go RIP ALR, and I think some of them don't mean it in like you're killing yourself if you keep on in this track. It's more like we want you fucking dead. Everybody assumes that this is a cash cow, but it's her only job. I'm assuming, I don't know, but it's obviously a main source of income, so of course she's gonna put ads in her videos, and she's gonna try to make sure you guys view it. Do I always agree with that? No. When she posts clickbait, does it agitate me? Fuck yes. And I'll admit, I've put in a few bad comments on her channel before out of irritation. And ALR, Amberlynn, if you're watching this, I apologize. I don't know if anybody who's left mean comments has ever actually apologized to you for their actions. Well, I'm here doing it. And every time I've had, it's honestly been because I care about you and I was upset. I do this to people in my real life all the time. It's a bad habit I have. But it's not just the comments that I can imagine affect her and makes her feel as if she has to close off about the realities in her life, and even talking about her health issues that she and her family members and loved ones are going through. And I think that's because, well, there's several hate groups on almost every social media platform, including TikTok, bashing her. There is endless amounts of reaction channels about her. Sometimes I agree with them, and I admittedly watch a lot of those reaction channels. Anyways, a lot of those groups just constantly post memes and stuff making fun of her, and even when she is making a obvious attempt at trying to change her life and trying to make herself into a healthier person, they put no merit behind it every single time. The amount of encouragement that she's getting is an overwhelmingly higher than the negative comments that she's getting. She's going to fail. And at every single point, from what I've seen on other people's channels and have looked into myself through looking through her comments, it doesn't last. She slips up for one reason or another and starts showing as much because she's afraid of what the backlash is going to be, and the mean comments just flood in. It's really sad because the cycle in which her ED is, it's very common. It's a very common ED. Maybe not everything that was made out of the cycle, which I'll post right here. I kind of want to explain the cycle because when I looked at it, it just said, I saw myself in there. I saw eating disorder in there, and I don't care what kind of eating disorder you have. If you have one, you're gonna have a similar cycle to this. So we're gonna go ahead and read off that cycle. Hey guys, editing Ashley here, and I just wanted to let you guys know I'm gonna probably cut out part of the list, and I'm just going to talk about the stuff that I feel is related to her eating disorder. Right now, she is in the first stage of the cycle, and that is the redemption stage. And this is where she genuinely tries and makes an effort and is trying to modify and change her diet. Her hygiene is increased. She cares more about her looks and appearance, and that is obvious in her vlogs. Claims to have a new attitude and mindset. She definitely does have a new attitude and mindset as of right now. It's definitely more on the positive light, and I genuinely enjoy that kind of content. She starts meal prepping and planning. She calls it meal prepping. Meal prepping kind of revolves like more than one meal usually, but everybody starts somewhere. So confirms that it is a weight loss channel. This time around isn't, because part of her plan is not to really discuss her plan on her channel, and that's the only thing she's really talked about. She shows recipes and stuff that she eats. She does have some odd cooking behaviors, like frying food in water. You guys want a video of me recreating one of her recipes with frying stuff? Let me know. Let's go ahead and move on to stage 2. Car view footage, meaning aka more boring, less footage on her, and a lot of that could be feeling less confident in the way she looks. So she wants to show you something beautiful and she doesn't feel that's her. Going out to eat, let's be honest, she does that either way. And as somebody on a weight loss journey, that can be a difficult one. It doesn't necessarily mean failure though. She just needs to learn how to properly eat out and how for it not to trigger a binge or for her to go off rails. Zero mentions of her loss and her goals, and let's be honest, I'm in this stage right now. I haven't mentioned any of that because right now I don't have any, and that could be what she goes through, is that kind of stuff, because she's having a hard time mentally. So talking about that specifically on camera ain't gonna happen. Her last videos, if no video at all. Loss of motivation. Straight up loss of motivation. Stage 3. The first one that it has on that list is fast food mukbangs. Yeah, well, you know, your eating disorder kind of takes hold. Fast food's gonna kind of be your thing, and she's binge eating, so yeah, she's just not going to be afraid to show it at that point because she's officially given up on herself. Next one is she finally abandons her weight loss journey, or at least admits to it on social media. She comes to terms with being a fat piece of lard. And I say this because that has literally been me before. And the next one is blaming the haters for her problems, really. Unwillingness to take accountability for your actions is part of an eating disorder. It says, I have a binge eating disorder. She's just trying to blame the eating disorder and not herself. If that's the case, she needs to learn, y'all, that's not how that works. It just doesn't work that way, guys. It doesn't. Stating that she's just being honest and real with you guys, and I think that's just truth. She just doesn't give a shit. Feeling, well, people are gonna hate anyway, so screw it. Let's actually be honest, because it's not gonna matter. Continuously eating huge amounts of garbage. Well, it's kind of just, yet again, that entire list just says eating disorder. Eating disorder. I'm saying it. Eating disorder. Last and final stage of this cycle is stage 4, manipulation. Crying, aka showing emotion. There's at some point in eating disorders, that's just kind of part of it. I think it's more they're referring as she uses it as a tactic. It's possible, or it could actually be her being real and crying on camera. I can't do this. The begging and bargaining and pleading with you guys, saying, like, I just can't work on this right now. I don't know how I let this happen. I've seen this stage, actually. Like, this stage is where I first saw Amberlynn and what caused me to get angry. And I think part of her does, but I think it's more like she doesn't know like how she's mentally allowed herself to continue the cycle, even though she knows it's happening. And I don't think people understand with eating disorders, sometimes it just feels like you're watching yourself go through the motions and you can't stop yourself. You can't control it. It just happens. Taking zero accountability. That's just the first time they've up and blatantly said that instead of using examples. Stage 3 and 4, that's just part of it. Taking accountability is literally the hardest part about having your eating disorder. Claiming a need to take some me time, and that means, aka, taking a break. Of course, isolating yourself is very common, and not wanting to address stuff or read stuff about how you're feeling is also very common. Guys, that is fully her cycle, and it's really just a cycle with anybody with a eating disorder. I think that's pretty obvious. I've said it 5 million freaking times in this video. So for the cycle to fully get broken and for stage 1 to not just be a stage, I think she would have to stop doing most of the YouTube that she's doing. She would have to reformat her entire platform. Well, she probably isn't going to ever end her channel, just finding ways to integrate other stuff in there, maybe not vlogging and doing sit down kind of videos instead would probably be good. Other thing I think she would have to really do, and something I have to do myself for my own eating disorder, is go to therapy, see a therapist, ideally one that specializes in eating disorders. And of course, I want to leave a message out to Amberlynn. If by any chance you're going to see this, I want you to know, even though all these people are hating against you, I want to let you know there are people out there that do feel you can make a change. And I want to see that change. I don't want to see you go through this cycle again. I don't think anybody does. And once you realize that you can actually do it and that you are actually worth that change, I don't think anyone's going to stop you. And of course, please see a therapist, or go to an outpatient facility that has to do with EDs. And that would be also great. Anyways, that's all I have to say for today. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys aren't mad that I didn't do like some kind of Thanksgiving video. Just holiday everything. Mind space is not in the right place. But obviously today's better. So I hope you guys subscribe, like this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Fun fact about me, I have the worst reading comprehension in the history of mankind. Oh, my foot is falling asleep. I've been sitting down for like 50 minutes, but the book is with me. I don't know. Earlier this week, when I didn't have time to film, I thought out exactly what I was going to say in this video, and it all, whew. Don't know. Still trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing.